Hello everybody, my name is DoomFish. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a easy ice-based item transport system in Minecraft. So where this really shines best is in the Nether, where we don't have access to water streams. As you can see, there's no water involved, so this works perfectly fine in the Nether, above the bedrock ceiling, whatever you want to do. So this area here on the left, where items will get collected, and this is useful if we have a mob farm of sorts, or any sort of place where items are getting produced. These items get shot across here onto this other slime block launcher, and they get shot across here into a very high capacity sorting system. And you can actually change this to be whatever you want. I've just got hoppers into chests. You can place down your sorting system or whatever you need over here. It's a very simple system and it works very well. It can handle any quantity of items you throw through it. There's no real need for any complex clocks setting up these two slime block launchers. And there's really only one clock over here. And so yeah, it's very simple and definitely something I'd recommend building if you want to transport items quickly in the Nether or in some other way where you don't want to use water streams. So let's get right into the tutorial for this build. So first off, we're starting above the ground just because you will need some space underneath this to actually build the machine, and depending on how long you want this machine to run for, or however long you want the item stream to be, then you might need more or less space accordingly. We're going to place some blocks to the side like so. We can break this middle block, and then we're going to place two blocks up, one into the left and one into the right, and we're going to make a little 3x3 square here that looks something like this. And what we're also going to do is head up to the left again, head up to the right again, and then we're going to do it one more time like so, until we get this sort of V shape here, and we're going to continue it all along this side. So you can actually make this bigger or smaller if you want. This is just where the item collector is going to be. And again, if you don't want an item collector, you don't have to do this step at all. But we just want to condense all our drops into this single little column right here. And so we're going to place some slime blocks on the edge here, and then some on the edge here, and then just go ahead and place down a piston on one of these edge blocks of slime. So I can do that like so, just by placing a temporary little block there, and then do it on the other side as well, just like so. Now in the middle here, we're going to place down a temporary block here, one out like so, break that block, do the same thing on the other side, and we're going to go ahead and place down some temporary blocks here, place down a sticky piston facing forward, and do the same thing, just like we did earlier, on the opposite side. Now we need to place some blocks around, connecting redstone to all of these pistons, and the easiest way to do that is just to place some blocks above each of these pistons. So we're going to place 3 on this side, 3 on this side, we're going to place 1 here, 1 to the left again, go 1 down, and we're just going to build this all the way across until we get to this side, and sort of do the same thing on this side. All we're doing is making a little path where we can place redstone down on to connect up our circuits. When we're done, it might look something like this, where we get a little ring shape around this, and we're just going to go ahead and place down some redstone dust on top of all of these blocks we just placed. Now on one of these longer sides of our machine here, we're going to look at this block above the piston right here, place down 1 solid block here, 2 more out to the side, place down 2 behind each of these so we get a little 3x2 rectangle here, and we're going to place 1 up and to the left on this side. Now place down a comparator, right click it on this block right here, we'll place down a repeater facing this direction, and then 1 facing this direction, place down redstone dust on these 3 blocks here, and then 1 more repeater set to 2 ticks right here. Now I can go ahead and place our lever on the end, and this lever is really optional. You could have like a redstone block or something, but I find that it's nice to be able to turn this thing off because it is quite loud once it gets going. We can see just by clicking the lever that this is what it should look like, and we can place down basically any item here, as long as it lands from this block over to this block, so a 5 wide space or a 3 wide space. We'll see that all will get pushed into the center, and again, this is without the use of water streams. Now I've gone ahead and flicked that switch off so we don't have to hear these pistons firing all the time, and we're just going to go right underneath this little dropper right here. We're going to place down 2 blocks on these 2 blocks right here so we get a little chute, and we're going to place down about 4 blocks down on each of these blocks right here, just to make sure that our drops get aligned right in the center and they don't carry any momentum heading down here so they get misaligned. Next up, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 temporary blocks on any one of these sides, and we're going to place down a piece of obsidian right here on the bottom, then we can break these 2 blocks right here. Now go ahead, and we're going to place down a slime block on this block right here. So I just use a temporary block to do so, and we're going to place down a sticky piston facing towards that slime block right behind it like so. Now you're going to want to do this in whatever direction you want your first item stream to go, or your first ice stream, and you can do this indefinitely. You can hook these machines up into one another to create an infinite loop. So now we're going to break the block to the left here, and then we're going to break the one on top of this slime block right here. We're going to place down a piece of obsidian on top of that slime like so. We're going to place down a piece of string in front of that obsidian so it's on this little chute right here. We're going to place down an observer right here into a block on this side. We're going to place down 2 blocks to the left, or to the right rather, of the sticky piston here. Place down 1 block here. Place down a repeater set to 2 ticks coming out of this block the observer is facing out of into 2 pieces of redstone dust like so. And we should see that this piston will fire anytime an item is dropped down here. And it'll fire off the edge like so. Now, instead of having this face out into an empty void down below, we can have this face out into an ice stream, and we can just place down about 15 to 20 blocks or so out in this direction where the sticky piston is flinging the blocks, or the items rather. And we can see that we can actually build this out quite a bit longer. I wouldn't recommend it building out too long though, because you do need some momentum so the blocks get aligned and they can actually get picked up easily. So generally, I would say at about 20 blocks as a maximum for how long you should build this ice stream. So like I said earlier, we can actually build more of those mechanisms over here on the edge of this machine right here, and we can continue pushing along our items until we get them in a location that we want. For this, I'm just going to assume that we are going to go ahead and send them into our item collection system, and to do that, we need to align these properly. Now, on the end, we're going to want to place down a temporary block here, and then one honey block on the side, one above, and one down. And then we can break that block, and we should decide whichever direction we want our ice stream to flow, either that direction or this direction. We're going to want to place our slime block on the opposite side. So we're going to place a temporary block here and a slime block here, and we're just going to say the ice stream is going to flow that direction. So then go ahead and place down one temporary block on this spot right here, and then one piece of obsidian below that. We can break this block here. And the next step is to go ahead and place down one of your string right here on this middle honey block here. And on the opposite side of the slime block, place down an observer facing into that string, place down one solid block behind that, one solid block to the right, and one block down like so. And then loop this back around to this spot right here, right behind the slime block. Now go ahead and place redstone dust on these 3 blocks behind the observer, place down 2 redstone repeaters and set them each to 4 ticks, and place down some redstone dust on these 3 blocks here. Now we can go ahead and place a sticky piston facing forward into that slime block, which can be a little tricky. You have to get in this spot right here, and we should be able to place it just fine. Now we can see that any item that we're going to drop into this shaft right here will get aligned on the side of the honey blocks, and we should see that it should slide down on the side, trigger that, and then fire across here. Now it's hard to see without an ice stream, but this should be aligned on the exact left side of the block, which is very important because that means the items can be on top of an ice stream and still get picked up by hoppers in our sorting system. So now the last step is just to go ahead and place down about 15 blocks of ice on the side here, and then we're going to place down our sorting system on the side that has the honey blocks on it. So in this case, it's going to be on this side of the ice stream. And to represent that, all I'm going to do is just go ahead and place down some hoppers here, and there we go. We can put our sorting system here. All the items should get picked up by these hoppers, and we should see that starting at the very beginning of our system, dropping in items into this system right here, should result in them getting pushed down all the way there, and as needed, they'll flow across this system into this one right here, and then across into these hoppers. We should see I had a stack, so I dropped about 7 in here, and all 7 end up in this hopper right here. So this is a great way to handle a large quantity of items, and again, it does not need any use of ice streams or complex clocks to loop these up. And like I said earlier, we can actually continue these out so we can have multiple sections if you want to carry the items further away than just this space right here. You can do so pretty easily. So that's going to do it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed or found it informative, and if you did, don't be afraid to leave a like, and you can subscribe for more content just like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.